To the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Oh my God. Slop. Damn. Slop. Chemical alert like bats on the ceiling. Black on my cape, can't see what I'm dealing. Black in my heart, can't feel any feeling on my slot. Ass so I gotta keep
like I said, what are we talking about? This is Completely Decent Podcast. This is Completely Decent Podcast, episode 78, take 3.
Right? It's true. We fucking tried doing this podcast like 10 fucking times.
If it happens again today, I think I'm just gonna quit the podcast. You know,
I mean,
obviously, the universe doesn't want me to do it.
That's fair.
God does not want this episode out.
But we have, I know, right? We have an amazing guest. Thank you guys for listening. First of all, the people listening and the people that aren't listening don't know. I'm so high right now.
I know, what the fuck are you doing right now, dude? What is this? This is terrible.
I'm very excited for this guest. This is one of my favorite friends in comedy. One of my first friends in comedy, and just a fucking funny guy. You know, Ezekiel Echevarria is with us. What's up, dog?
Woo! What up, man?
Woo! What the fuck?
Oh my God!
No one else is wooing. I'm used to the comedian woos.
Oh God!
Sucks. If
you haven't been in front of an audience in so long that you have to be your own audience right now.
I gotta be the studio audience. I gotta be the woo.
That's funny.
Been doing good though, man. How you been?
This isn't a live show. Just surviving, you know.
That's cool. I hear work's going good.
What kind of answer is that? Doing? Just surviving. Fuck you, bitch. This fool's been taking a lot of shits and eating a lot of fucking Mexican food.
I'm over here trying my best, you know. Like that's what else can we do? You know.
So one time the internet works and you're stoned out of your mind.
I know what the fuck. What are you doing? Surviving? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. What the fuck?
What are you talking about?
Say some real shit, dude. I don't know.
This is how I always talk. Don't I always say some shit like that? I don't understand.
I don't know why you have like it's like a built-in catchphrase that you just have right now. I don't know what's going on. You get stoned and you build you do
surviving.
Yeah. I know. You know. No, I don't fucking know what the fuck. Yeah.
You gotta zoom in on his face.
Yeah.
Surviving.
Yeah. This fucking guy.
Let's see how a real person answers the question. Frank, how have you been?
I'm pretty good, man. You know, I've been trying to keep busy. I've been doing some photography stuff. You guys know we talk about projects here and there, but that's pretty much it. Just trying to better myself as a person. So,
see,
you know what? Yeah, I think my problem right now is not so much the highness, is that we literally did this shit 3 times last week.
So we already caught up and we already know what's going on in each other's lives.
And we had so many technical difficulties that the episode didn't get recorded or anything.
Oh shit, I'm still wearing my mask.
But it's just feels exactly the same, you know, like.
Yeah, it feels like, why are we doing introductions if we already did this?
I still have my mask on from earlier because I literally just came in my house.
You came in your house?
Yeah, I come in my house a lot, but this time specifically.
You think he comes anywhere else?
I know what. Well, my car, I guess. What, you guys are too good for car sex?
Guys, how crazy was that Dave Chappelle thing?
Oh, dude, nuts.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was fucking dope.
This last little special, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys feel about that, though?
For him to just like call it out like that?
I feel like I love the fact that he's doing this. I love the fact that he is going out and like going directly to the people and putting the message out that he wants. You know, he's kind of got that notoriety now where he can just say whatever he wants and has a platform to do it on, and people will listen.
Yeah.
Now, this is and it's a little bit of an unpopular opinion, but I kind of get it. I get why he's upset over Chappelle's show. Like,
of course,
it shouldn't have been taken away from him. But then the devil's advocate to that is like, he did know what was in his contract. Now, he does talk about the contract in the thing, and he's like, there's a lot of verbiage and there's a lot of convoluity that comes with those kinds of contracts.
Yeah, and that's the point. That's the point of it, is that they found this kid that's super talented that like really needs money, and you take advantage of him, and that's the industry that he's complaining about. You know, because that's happened not to just him, to many people. You know? And I mean, luckily, you know, he did great for himself either way. But it's just taking advantage of people, and like he says at the end, like, there might be people there that don't even know what I'm talking about. Just look at what they paid me, and look at how much money they made.
Yeah,
from it.
Yeah,
you know, because,
and the fact that
that's right, and he's rightfully upset.
I think it is kind of crazy that like he does SNL, you know, and then that same day they brokered 2 deals to put the show on 2 huge platforms, you know, and it's like that's what I think more upsets me about the whole thing. Is that they see that they're still making money off of him, to their advantage. They're like taking advantage of him doing things for himself, you know.
Yeah, but I'm sure he wasn't. I'm pretty sure. I don't have a lot of insider Hollywood information, but I'm pretty sure those kind of deals take months and months. I'm pretty sure they didn't just put up the fucking episodes in both streaming services just because he was doing something that
I
day.
think they did.
I'm pretty sure those things take a long time.
Not always. I think they knew that they had to capitalize on this moment, and I think that they said, you know what, if we can broker a deal,
they announce it. Like I knew that Chappelle Show was coming to Netflix way before that.
Maybe not Netflix so much, but
they announced
HBO Max. Shits. I didn't know that about that at all.
I just think it's weird though. Like
I'm sure it's not as easy, especially to give it to 2 different streaming services. I'm pretty sure those deals were like getting ready because either way, the Chappelle Show is still a very popular show.
Yeah,
it's not just people remember because he's in things. That show's still very popular. Everybody loves it still, you know.
Yeah,
so that's something anyone would want in their service, you know. Like I'm pretty sure. I'm not defending them or anything, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't like intended like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, he's in SNL, let's put this up, because I don't think they could just make that decision that fast. I'm pretty sure that was already planned for a long time, and it just kind of happened.
I mean, I get it, but I also think it's weird he's trying to get money after the fact of the contract. You know what I mean?
I think he's just trying to like put it out there, like, you know what, you can't continuously hold me down. Like that's how he feels about it, that they continuously make money, not just like by putting it on platforms,
like they own him. They own him.
That's how he feels about it. Yeah.
Him. That's why he kept repeating those words, like owning his likeness throughout the blah 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 blah, whatever it was.
Yeah.
His persona and likeness throughout the universe and all this shit. It's like literally they own him. And like this thing that he fucking worked so hard on.
Dude, say what you
will
about
either
Louis,
way, the way
I think Louis C.K. has the best fucking model for anything because he does everything himself. Like for him to somewhat get canceled and then just make his own special, like that's what you need. We need the freedom like that. And I've always
doing that.
Even like I've always respected Louis, like even despite all the shit, very unpopular opinion. But as far as like how he is creatively, that shit was like inspiring to me coming up before everything came out, you know. And it's like, when Chappelle said like, "Oh, I can, you know, go to another network," but it's like, why you have the money to just do shit yourself? Like, why? I get you're trying to, if he's trying to, you know,
maybe not so much so right after that,
but he can produce his own shit. People want to work with him.
But maybe Dave Chappelle,
you know. It's just like
but maybe Dave Chappelle, maybe not so much right after he quit doing the Chappelle Show, because like he said, like I'm sure it was, to us it was a good amount of money, but like the money, it wasn't that much, you know. And the Chappelle Show was, you know, very popular, but it was still a relatively new thing.
But
it's not like Dave Chappelle now. Dave Chappelle now has cemented himself as one of, if not the best comic ever, you know.
I think even back then, dude.
It's up to different people, you know. But
when he did Killing Him Softly,
he is up there. Killing Him Softly was amazing.
Killing Him Softly is one of the greatest specials of all time, and I think for me, like, dude, I had that I had zero ambitions of being a comedian at the time when I was in high school, and I had that entire special memorized. Like, dude, that whole thing was crazy, and like, he did that mid Chappelle's show, you know, and it's crazy. I don't know. He to me, he's always kind of been up there.
He's up there, but you look at, like, I guess from a production standpoint, because the shit that he was in was groundbreaking on the show, but it's like Comedy Central didn't know if it was going to hit or not, if there was going to be a full season, if shit was going to fly. Like, it's this young kid, so in the same way, like, you got to see that they're going to put a low ante into the game before banking it in. And whether he's big or not, like, stand-up, we all know that the performing stand-up and clubs and specials is different than, like, sketches or when a comic gets a show. Because how many comedians who have a show, like, tanked after a season or two?
Yeah.
And
sure.
whether or not they're getting a good deal or not.
You guys remember,
like,
remember John Mulaney's show?
No.
No, that's crazy, right? Like, it was so
trash.
But I hear,
trash.
You know what,
and
though?
I love that guy so much.
I hear that the reason it was kind of trash was there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that really fucked it up. It just made it hard to do the show. Like, he really felt like if they got a season 2, it would have kind of gotten off done way better. I think that's the thing when you have
like
big networks. I
feel like they were.
He felt like he got pushed around too much, like with the executives. And I think that's the hard thing is when you have too many people in the pot, like directing the show and where it needs to go. And especially when most of the other people have the money. It's not like John Mulaney was John Mulaney now and was trying to do a TV show. Right. He was John Mulaney then. And I'm sure that's why they pick a lot of younger comedians to do shows, because they know they can push them around. You know, it's like shit. Like you say one wrong thing, your show's gone.
Yeah, and that's the type of stuff that Dave's mad about. You know, and rightfully so. You know.
Yeah.
Did you
guys ever watch
John Mulaney
Ellen?
Show felt like. Did we ever watch Ellen?
Not Ellen, the daytime show, her sitcom. It was considered like one of the highest rated comedic sitcoms after Seinfeld. Like, that's not saying it's just like Seinfeld. I'm just being like, it's one of the better ones. That
just as far as how successful it was.
Yeah. Without her having that show, like, she wouldn't have had the daytime show at all without her having that show. And like,
Ezekiel? No, I said, like, stop trying to push Ellen on me, Frank. Like, 6 years I've known you. Have you seen Ellen every time I talk to you?
Fuck you, bitch. But no, it's an interesting show too, because like at the time nobody knew that she was gay. Like, she wasn't out of the closet. It was always kind of like this ambiguous thing. And then she actually came out on the show. And that's how, like, it was like a big thing because she could have lost the show and like not had a career anymore at the time. So, yeah.
So is that why the ratings tanked? Because she came out?
Yeah, because she came out and then they got canceled. No, I think it did pretty well. I think from my understanding, she ended the show.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Are you guys big Seinfeld fans?
Because I knew she had a show, but I honestly didn't really know a lot about it.
Yeah, it's weird. Seinfeld's really the only like big comedic sitcom that I really hear about that came from a stand-up comedian. Other than that, I don't really hear too many of the other ones really talked about.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys ever watch Horace and Pete?
I never got into it, but I
didn't finish it, but yeah, it's awesome. That's one of the cool things about Louis too.
But he spent a shit ton of money on that show, dude. Like nobody wanted to buy it. I felt really bad about that.
Funny at all, you know? And he got a good cast of people in it. He got his friends in it, and it was a great fucking. I cried a few times watching that shit. You know? Yeah, I didn't finish it. I think I don't remember where I left off. I didn't finish it though.
Yeah,
I should though, but you know, like that's something you got to respect about Louis. You know, his versatility.
Dude, is this the podcast where we get canceled for
supporting Louis? No, I think you know what, people get upset at that still, and you know, I think people that get upset about it.
Your Instagram's on this thing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Did.
How come nobody told me?
It's been on the whole fucking time.
Can I change it now?
Yeah, you can change it now. But people that I think that get upset about the whole Louis thing don't really know all the facts, or they just kind of hear about it from somebody else instead of actually doing the research. I mean, not doing me wrong, like to an extent, yeah, I guess it was kind of like bad, but at the same time, it wasn't what people make it out to be and what they make them this huge monster to be, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel it.
Oh yeah, because Because for a while, people were saying that he was like locking the door and like trapping them in there and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's the
And
thing.
then
Is
it's
like,
but then it's like, oh, none of the victims or whatever actually fucking said that. But like
Yeah.
that got around.
Yeah.
And that got around, and like it was like 3 things they said, and then all of a sudden he's a rapist. You know, like,
What's crazy is
it was
like
pretty far from that.
the timing, because like that rumor had been around for a long time. I mean, years that had been kind of going around, and it's just interesting that at that very same time that it kind of blew up was when that movie he made came out about like sexual misconduct within Hollywood, and yeah, it didn't even get put out. I mean, I'm sure it got put out in some capacity, but it was crazy. Like a lot of big actors were in that movie.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
it was it was a weird name too.
It was like "I love you" or "Miss" or something weird like that. Like
something weird.
It was like his.
You.
Yeah, it was like about his daughter, and like his daughter, he's like raising her, and he's kind of in the industry, and then his daughter ends up with like a older gentleman that's like a movie producer, like a Harvey Weinstein kind of thing.
It was John Malkovich, I think.
Oh yeah, it was.
He was in it.
But yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Dude, but Woody Allen was with a underage girl in Manhattan. Manhattan was a good movie. You don't like Manhattan?
No, I think your reasoning is funny.
I mean, I think back then, like
it doesn't make sense. But
back then, like people didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, Elvis
like,
married
then,
a 16-year-old, so I think there's a lot of back then people didn't really.
Yeah, exactly, and like I'm sure some people were like, "Whoa, we're just gonna let him do this," but most people were like, "Yeah, fuck it,"
Yeah,
it's crazy how like that was just a thing,
How do you guys feel about like separating the art from the artist? Are you guys able to do that, or do you just like if something happens, fuck that person?
I think you do it like I did it with Louis, like when I was like I didn't know like all the facts and stuff.
Yeah.
And like it was a thing in my mind like, oh, maybe he is a scumbag, And I started doing that. Like there's people like Bill Cosby. I'm not gonna watch anything he's ever been in ever again,
Yeah.
Like people like I think there's levels to it. I think you could do it. But
Fat Albert with Kenan Thompson again?
Well, he was already not ever going to watch that again.
That was. I don't care if Bill Cosby was the best person ever.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't like a big Bill Cosby fan in the first place, so it wasn't really like a hard choice for me. I was like, oh, I just never have to pretend to like any of his comedy again. Cool.
Yeah, I wasn't really into him either. I know like a lot of older cats are though. Like,
yeah, I mean. Comics? From my understanding, he like laid the groundwork for a lot of like clean comedy, and like did it, and like people respected him for that. They were like, he can still make like all kinds of diverse audiences laugh without having to be crass. I think the only time Bill Cosby has ever made me laugh is when Eddie Murphy does that bit about Bill Cosby calling him. That's the only time I've ever been like, oh, this is really funny, and he's involved. Other than that, not really.
So not him directly. It was Eddie Murphy.
No, never him directly. not even one. My mom is a huge Cosby Show fan. Like I remember her talking about it all the time when I was a kid, and I've never even once watched one of those episodes.
That show used to bother me from the intro.
Why?
I just hated watching all the kids dance. It was like, I was like, I'm not gonna watch this shit.
Why?
I don't know. It just bothered me. It bothered me.
What kind of bitter kid?
I know. Did you hate dancing? Did you?
Were you just happy with their family and stuff? And
you were the mayor. You were the mayor of the town in Footloose as a child.
Yeah, right.
Dancing and joy.
No dancing.
What's wrong with you?
Oh man!
Jesus Christ, you're a monster.
It just bothered me. Oh,
I guess I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's weird, Ezekiel.
Yeah, it's a little weird, Ezekiel.
That the Cosby Show intro bothered me.
No, that you hate dancing so much.
No,
that children having children.
What?
That a child's joy.
There's no intro that bothered you. Like you wouldn't watch a show from the intro. That's not.
No.
I've never
Like,
been so offended by the intro that I'm like, no, I'm not gonna give her a chance.
I wasn't offended. It would just be annoying. I think though because it would play really loud and I'd fall asleep with the TV on.
Oh, that's
so like
okay.
I'd be asleep,
So
and then it'd come on at
subconsciously,
like midnight, and then on midnight I just see the Cosby Kids dancing, and it's like, fuck you guys, I'm trying to sleep.
that's so funny.
that's
Maybe
where-
that's why I don't like George Lopez.
Oh, because he would wake you. He actually did a TikTok about that not too long ago, about how like people just wake up, hate him because they wake up to hit to the theme song all the time.
Yeah, maybe that's why. It's not because I don't think he's funny.
Yeah, that's
It's
the reason
because
we
of the
hate
thing.
him.
No, isn't that? I don't know.
Go ahead, say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say. Say it. Tell everyone how much you hate George Lopez.
What's the one show you guys hate that was on Nick at Night?
Nick at Night. I don't think I watched a lot of Nickelodeon as a child. I was more of a Cartoon
I have to
Network
remember what
kid.
shows were on Nick at Night just to know which ones I hated.
Yeah, what was on Nick at Night?
I was a huge
Rocco?
Gilligan's
No,
Island
wasn't
fan.
Nick at
What?
Night?
No, way older than that, dude.
The Facts of Life.
Nick at Night was like
Laverne and Shirley was cool.
like-
Joni Loves Chachi was
like
all
MASH
right.
and shit.
Yeah, MASH.
Yeah,
you know what?
right.
MASH, and people don't like this, but I was never a fan of MASH. I could never get into it.
You know what? I think I didn't.
I don't
get
think
into
I've
it because
actually
of the
watched
intro.
That's a show that I would hate. I hated from the intro. That's the show I
Yeah.
hated.
Yeah, I
because-
think like the,
But you know why? It wasn't even like because of the intro though. It's because like MASH would always come on after Saturday morning cartoons, and that's how you know they were over. And I would just get so upset at MASH all the time because of it. Like,
wait, Saturday morning cartoons?
yeah,
Dude, I
think
watch
you're
a lot
old
of
enough
TV.
to fucking watch that shit
I watch a lot of TV, and I don't remember MASH being on in the middle of the day.
in the middle. What? No, dude.
No,
After
they
Saturday
played it
morning.
in the day.
After Channel 11,
Yeah.
Channel 11 would do all their
Channel
cartoons.
11. Okay, no.
Yeah,
you're
Fox.
talking
They
about
would.
Fox.
Yeah, on Fox. That shit would piss me off. Sorry, yeah, right. I wasn't on Nickelodeon anymore. No.
I'm like, they didn't play.
Yeah, that's what.
You-
Yeah, my
I'm
bad.
out a little bit too.
know,
Yeah, because
the show that pissed me off. The show that pissed me off was Nick News with Linda Ellerby.
Oh, why? That shit was fucking funny. That shit was fucking funny.
That shit was whack. It was always dope cartoons and Are You Afraid of the Dark? And then she'd bring some serious shit on.
Yeah.
Fuck that, man.
No.
Ruining my Saturday night.
No.
With
Yeah, you know what?
Side.
That showed that. So like, it was a way for the Nickelodeon to say they were still like informative, and they actually would do like real pieces but specifically on kids doing like real shit, like spearheading, like cleaning up the beach or like doing different programs for homeless people and stuff. But it was like very boring the way that they did it. I'll give you that. The format was bad. So
it was a kid's news show, Pablo.
it was a kid's news show, but run by an adult. So it just I could never
I've seen
relate
clips.
to it.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
I just never actually saw it.
How isn't it crazy how groundbreaking like all that is?
The show all that?
Yeah,
Or,
the show all
like-
that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was like, what?
Like legitimately.
oh, what?
Like,
The fucking.
there's a. Do you know what all that is?
Kids
Do you know what we're talking about, Pablo? All that.
No.
So all that was a kids sketch show that Nickelodeon produced, but without all that, there's a lot of other shows that wouldn't have existed, like the Amanda
Break It Down,
Bynes
Baby.
show. Drake and Josh probably wouldn't have existed. What other one? There was another sketch show that they like variety show that they did, but it spawned a lot of shows, and without all that, there's no Keenan and Kel. That's another one. There's no Nick Cannon. There's no Gabriel Iglesias. Gabriel Iglesias was a cast member on all that, and it was one of the.
canon.
That's fair. I don't know, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge fan of. I can't remember the fucking name right now of
everything.
Of Wild and Out. No, Wild and Out. Actually, I like the show. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but the way that they've been able to like re-engineer it and like make it into a show that still exists today is it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'll give
I'm
them
not a big
that.
fan.
Yeah, because it's been on for a minute.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
got canceled, and the comeback, like the if you have you watched the original show, it is so vastly
I
different.
only saw
than-
the original one.
The new
Yeah,
one's better.
I
The
haven't
new one
seen
for
the
sure is better, and it's very like, it's how do I put it? Like relatable to a lot of audiences of today, and I can see why it's popular. But the first show is it's so bad and so crass compared to the newer version. Like the newer version is definitely like a million times better, but the old one couldn't exist without it.
I don't know,
Cray.
man. I feel like I'm not a fan of
He said,
improv comedy.
I don't
like
know,
that.
man.
Yeah,
What?
like I don't like improv comedy like that.
Yeah, I think what gets
Why?
me honestly is like the fact that they combine improv with like rap, like the ability to do that. Like don't get me wrong, like some of it's cheesy and stuff, but some of it like is really good and like really impressive.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Wild and Out,
Wild and Out.
the show.
Oh, I forgot.
Fucking guy. Fucking guy.
God, like I dig. Oh, what's up?
How do you feel about Bigfoot? You think he could be real? You think he's fake? I think
he's real, and he's the other host on this podcast.
That's like the best answer.
I will allow that. That was a good answer. That was a good answer.
He's got to be real, though. He's got to be around there. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on outside of what I see, so I imagine there's some fucking monster in the woods.
It's like, why not, right? Like, fuck it. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but honestly, and I was telling this to Frank the other day, like, so much crazy shit's happening right now. like if Bigfoot was real, like if we found out that Bigfoot's real right now, I'll be like, all right, I guess now there's also that.
It's not that like unbelievable
like,
anymore. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, any other year I would have been all over it.
Did you guys hear about that?
I'm like, oh
dragon that they found in Canada?
Like, who cares?
A dragon?
A dragon?
What?
No.
Find a fucking dragon.
What is that for the people?
Because it's fucking not a dragon. It pisses me the fuck off that they're calling it a dragon. In Canada, they found this frozen again dragon that they're calling it, but it's just a giant fucking pterodactyl. Like, don't get me wrong, it's like the biggest pterodactyl they've ever found, but they're calling it a dragon. I think just to like get people interested in dinosaurs again.
Do you believe Komodo dragons are dragons?
I mean,
no.
Like, what constitutes a dragon for you? I think that's
well, they're saying like for me,
why aren't they dragons?
What? Because dinosaurs are not dragons, or at least to our knowledge.
Because they're not like the dragons. They're not like the dragons in your fucking.
Why is it me? No,
fucking nerd game.
I'm not the fucking one. First of all, it's literally called Dungeons and Dragons. You dumb
What's
fuck.
That fucking?
So fuck you, bitch. Yeah, you can't even remember the name of the thing you're making fun of. Yet you said the name 10 times.
Why? Because they're not the dragons like in your nerdy little games. Is that why the Komodo dragon's not a real dragon?
Okay, please argue with me as to why. Yeah, that's literally the definition of the fucking thing. It has to breathe fire and fly.
How do you know this thing doesn't breathe fire?
Who says that?
Fuck the both of you guys, okay?
Right?
Fuck both of you. No.
Who said that?
So if it flies and it's scaly, so it just has to breathe fire and it's a dragon. How do you know?
But we know it as a pterodactyl. That's why.
How do you know if pterodactyls didn't breathe fire?
Okay, fuck you. I've seen Jurassic Park 10 times, you asshole. That's why I fucking know that they don't breathe
I'm still talking about Komodo dragons, though.
What do you mean?
I still like talking about. You said Komodo dragons aren't real dragons. Komodo dragons are real, not like the fucking dragons that you want them to be like. You know what I mean? Like they're way more real than those dragons that breathe fire and fly and shit. Frank.
Yeah, but like Komodo dragon is just like the pseudo name for it, right? That's not like the actual like.
What's it called?
I don't know. I just know that's not the real fucking name.
So you know that it's not the real name, but you don't know the real name.
I'm not the one saying I'm over here also a fucking Komodo dragon expert and I know fucking everything about them. I'm just telling you what I do know.
Wait, so is dragon the real name of dragons?
No, bitch. Fuck you.
So dragons, that's the real name, and that's why they're dragons. Because nerd said it a long time ago.
That's why Darwin was busy playing Dungeons and not Dragons, and then he was like, "What the fuck should we name it?" And then he saw that, and he was like, "Dragons." And then that's why we play Dungeons and Dragons. That's why they're also called Komodo dragons.
How big was the pterodactyl?
Komodo Dungeons and Dragons.
I like how you're just putting that together now.
It sounded like you said kimono.
What about the pterodactyl?
How big was the
Kimono dog.
Kimono dragon?
You want to know how big
It
the
was
dragon was?
this
I'll look it up.
big.
I'll look it up.
Why is that already in your search history? How big are dragons?
It's not. I'm literally Googling it, you dumb bitch. That'd be super fucking funny if it was. Like, hold on. I just press one button and fucking pops
How
up.
big are
You just
dragons? Are dragons real?
I just point to the life-size pterodactyl I have hanging in my room right now.
So do you not consider Mushu a dragon?
Fuck you, bitch. Clearly, he's a dragon.
But he's not big, and he
But
can't
Why?
fly.
He doesn't fly.
I didn't say he had to be big. I'm just saying they're considering a dragon because it is big.
But he
It's on
can't
National
fly.
Geographic.
But he can't fly.
He
So,
can't fly though.
huh.
So
Okay.
That was
it's
one of your
what they
requirements.
found.
Fuck you guys. Okay, he's a Chinese dragon.
That was
Actually,
one of your
we
requirements.
don't know that he
Zach.
can't fly. He just doesn't fly. We don't know that he can.
I'm pretty sure he says he can't fly in the movie.
No, we know that he can't.
He says he can't fly. He says that.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flying
He
reptile
has to earn
had
his
a
wings.
wingspan of at least 16 feet
That's what you don't
and
believe.
may have
Like,
grown a
dragons
wingspan
and
of up to 33 feet.
Okay, Mushu doesn't fly. He said it. All right, okay. That was the first thing you took offense to. Frank's having fun here. We're all having fun.
I think this is the perfect time to explain what I've already explained 3 times
Jeez.
to our listeners.
What?
But none of those episodes were good enough. Ezekiel is one of my oldest friends in comedy. And I met him before I met Frank. And he already knew Frank before.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm always making fun of Frank is because that's just how, like, Ezekiel fucking started talking to him. So I just started doing that shit. That's how
Finally, someone bigger than me I
Ezekiel
can
was
pick
just
on.
always making fun of him. Yeah, Ezekiel was just always
Yeah.
making fun of him. And I was like, well, I want to get in on this too. I got jokes.
We would just tag team at the bar.
So
I
it's
go to the
Ezekiel's
bathroom,
fault.
Pablo,
And I
you're
hope
in.
you apologize one day, Ezekiel.
No, he's not gonna apologize.
Apologize for what?
Exactly. See, he had to go
Were you
explain
having a
it to
good
him. He's
time,
not even gonna
Pablo?
apologize.
He's like,
What a
apologize
piece
for
of
what?
shit.
For being hilarious? For always being the funniest guy in the room? No.
For not defending dragons?
Why would I
Yeah,
apologize?
exactly. Bullshit.
Because I know goddamn dragons aren't real?
Dude, dragon sounds like a made-up word. How are you so, like, enthralled
Bitch,
with
every
that?
word is a
All
made up word,
words are
you
made
dumb
up.
bitch. Okay.
Dragon sounds especially made up.
Made up. Okay. What doesn't sound especially
Dragon
made up?
sounds like it's not real.
Yeah, that sounds like
Dragon sounds like they're not real, but also it's wrong because Komodo dragons are real.
Yeah, so yeah.
So fuck you,
Did you
Frank.
figure out how big that dragon was?
What? Yeah, I said it. It was
It was
wingspan-
this big.
fuck you. The wingspan of at least 16 feet and may have grown to a wingspan of up to 33 feet.
Okay.
33 feet? That's
33
wider
feet.
than my
like
house.
just the what the fuck? What kind of small ass house do you live in?
That's still
I
less
don't know,
wide than
dude.
I've
Frank.
seen
don't
your
know.
house. It's not fucking 30 fucking feet, dog.
33 feet seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. Maybe
What
I just don't know. I just don't have a sense of like distance or whatever. I don't know.
I think it's a
Because
3/4
33 feet
Frank.
seems like a lot to me.
33 feet is 369 inches. Or sorry, 396 inches, my bad. So like, okay, I'm 5'11". So like fucking
Tall or wide?
bitch, fuck
So-
you.
So
How the fuck are you 5 feet wide, you dumb bitch? How does that even
Maybe
make
it's
sense? What
a
person is 5
circumference,
feet
yeah.
fucking wide?
not his width.
I don't
His
know.
circumference is
Dragon Boy.
probably 5 feet, but not his
Yeah,
width.
my circumference is 5 feet.
Math
Dick, that
joke.
doesn't even fucking make sense.
What are you talking about? It makes all the sense. Oh man, this is my favorite episode.
Oh man,
Yeah.
This is my favorite episode, but I think it's one of the worst ones.
he's pout googling. Look at him. He's pout googling.
What?
You're pout googling.
What the That's just my face. Fuck you.
Oh man, good times.
33 feet is pretty wide.
That's pretty big, dude. That's pretty
maybe
big.
not as
That's
wide
like
as my
almost
house.
that's almost a quarter of a football field.
Yeah,
I'm not a quarter of a football field
insane.
long, you dumb. Yeah.
That's why I said 3/4, Frank.
So that's like, wait.
Go
so
ahead.
That's like fucking 5 of you laying on the floor, right?
It's more than that. Yeah.
It's more than 5 of you
I'm almost
laying
6
on the
feet.
floor.
Yeah.
Dude, if we gotta start measuring stuff in Frank's laying on the floor.
That's only how he
nice.
measures things. He calls me over to the warehouse just so he can have me lay down on shit. Okay, how many francs is this? It's a waste of my fucking
franc
day.
and
Like,
a
I don't
half.
wanna do it.
It's a franc and a half.
Oh man.
It's a franc and right up to his balls, just the bottom of his balls. That's how wide it is.
Frank, are we that mean? Because I know
What?
a lot of people think like I'm an ass, like in the comedy scene. Like,
Yeah,
are we
you know
that
what?
mean, or is it just like,
No, you know what?
I think
all
we're
people
trying to
have
be
told
funny
me-
all the time, but people. Go ahead.
People have told me that I'm too mean to Frank in the podcast,
I'm
and I don't
like,
think
overall.
I
No, like
fucking
you-
hold back. You know, it's not like when the 3 of us are hanging out.
Oh,
That's
it's so
a
much
different
worse.
thing.
It's
Yeah.
so much worse.
But it's
But
like
no,
we
yeah,
have
I-
someone to
but
laugh at
it's,
what we're saying.
it's funnier though.
I think like, the way I grew up was
I think
like
the worse it is.
you-
I think the worse it is, the more you like it, Frank, and
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
you laugh about it.
no. I see. This is the thing is I grew up with like a million fucking cousins, and that's all we do is fucking bash on each other. So I find it fucking hilarious when people talk shit to me, because in my mind it means you're trying to be my friend. If you didn't taking the time to pay attention to how much of a fat piece of shit I am, that means you must really fucking like me.
It's not hard to pay attention to that, Frank.
But yeah,
it stands out quite a bit.
But yeah, but yeah, it's that's how, you know, and I've gotten that before. Why are you so fucking mean? I'm like, I'm not. I'm talking. Fucking say something. Like, you know, this is the way I communicate. And you know, I try to be fair to people. Like I try to realize real quick if they're like not, you know, down to like talk shit or whatever. But sometimes I've made people feel uncomfortable, not meaning to. It happens.
Yeah, honestly, that's one of my favorite things. Just like, not all of them. Some of them are bitches, but like hanging out with comics, it's like cool, you know. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
would-
always people
I
trying to
think we
outdo
would all
each other.
say. I think
in a
we would
funny
all say shit, and when it's just us, that we wouldn't say in front of other people. You know.
Yeah.
Not to
Yeah,
say that
exactly.
we're bad people or anything. Not to say that we're bad people or like we're saying anything fucked up. But like
No.
it's just things that like
Just know it's not going to
fly
be
with-
taken
we
as
know
being
we
rude.
know wouldn't fly. It wouldn't be take. Yeah, it wouldn't take well with
It's just
normal
nice, like,
people. You know what I mean?
when it's like the close people you talk shit with, and like everybody knows whatever's said is for the joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody
Yeah.
gets upset, nobody gets. But then you get those people who like hang around here and there, and then they're like, "Oh, fuck these dudes, they're just mean and this and that." And it's like, well, like that's
I mean,
just
some
how we
people-
are.
Even people that will like come around a lot will fucking feel like that. You know, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
I remember they're like, you know, fucking should remain nameless, but remember when this certain person, every little thing I said was a huge insult to him,
Oh yeah.
you know? And it's like I was just having fun, you know, but it was like blasphemy, whatever I said, even if
Yeah.
it wasn't about him, it was about him all of a sudden, you know?
Mhm.
Like there's people like that too. That's why I said
Dude,
not
there's been
all
a
of
couple
them.
people that have like hung around for a little bit when we were doing PBW, and then they
Mhm.
just stopped coming because they're like, oh, they're mean and they're gonna talk shit on my set. But it's like you had to earn the laughs from us. Like, you know, it's not like we were the end all be all, but we're gonna laugh at what's funny and we're gonna talk shit if you bomb, just like when Frank bombed at No Clue. But
Yeah.
I'm still on the podcast.
That was awesome.
I don't even remember what you guys are talking about.
And see, that's the thing. But see, that's the thing. Dude, like, you don't remember, like, your cousins asked you if you were gonna quit comedy after that shit. So
at No Clue. Right, yes, I remember now. Yeah, no, that was pretty bad. That's fair. Your fault that I'm on. That was 100% my fault. Oh, it was it was. I consider it my worst bomb of my entire career, only because I knew better than to not have a clear idea to go up there, without, and this is how my set should be, and that's why it's so much worse than like, because when you're coming up and you're trying new jokes or whatever, that the bomb is because you haven't worked it out or you just don't know any better. I knew better and still should have had an okay set, or at least bombed because I was trying new things and didn't have a grasp of it yet. And there was no need for me to bomb like that. And so I consider it my worst bomb, but I learned so much from it. Honestly, like, it helped a lot of things around of like, and make things clear of like how I need to go and set, so in the long run for me, I have kind of moments.
Like, dude, if we rip on each other for bombing, like, that's not like, it's like pointing out things that I need to work on,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We know we're fucking homies and shit, and we know we have this like camaraderie and shit. So like, sure, like, you might just be a dick, but maybe you're just being a dick about it. But either way, like, like, we're homies, and that shit's like, a bomb's just gonna help me either way,
Yeah, exactly.
And anything you guys say, it's gonna help me either way. And you guys are gonna fucking bomb, and I'm gonna make fun of you guys too.
We've all had horrible nights like Frank. You know what I mean? Like, we've all been there. So it's
thank you for reminding us that. Yeah,
you and you could talk shit on it. See, the thing though, like with No Clue, I miss fucking doing shows there, man. Because I would get people who were like, it'd be their first shows or anything like that, but people that I knew that were kind of like figuring it out, and I would let them go up, and they would either do okay or they would bomb, but everyone always did their time, and I feel like that was a good room to learn, because you had to like get people, but it's like
really good workout room.
And if you don't, then you gotta get to work, but. It was a good little spot. That's I mean, there's people who I know who are like, oh shit, he's bombing, get him off. But for me, it was like, no, I gave you 10 minutes. You're gonna stay up there until the 10 minutes is done. Like, I'll give you the light when you get the light.
And that's the thing, is if somebody's first starting out, there's so many things that like they're gonna learn to appreciate later that they're not understanding right then. Like the other day on Facebook, my a flyer from the first show that ever gave me 15 minutes came up. And like, I saw the flyer and I was like, holy shit, I had no business doing 15 minutes, zero business doing that much time. And the guy, it was at a variety show. It was a guy in a punk rock band asked me if I wanted to do time. And I said, yeah. And I went up, I drove all the way out to fucking Bellflower to go do the time. And, it was so nerve wracking. Like, I didn't even do good, but like in my, like the fact that I made it through the 15 minutes, like I was so fucking psyched afterwards. I didn't care. Like I did okay, like for the first time doing 15 minutes, which is probably awful. But to me, it was just like to have the time to just go there and do that. Not many people give you that those kind of shots. So yeah, a place like that, it's rare.
Yeah, man. I try to get back. Like,
it's definitely, and like sometimes people are just fucking. What happened?
Huh?
What happened, Ezekiel?
No, I said I try to get
Say that
back,
again?
like with that room, or like when I do spots. It's like I know what it's like to, I guess, want to try a longer set, and people who like, because I'll even like call people on their shit too. Like when they reach out, it's like, oh yeah, you got 10 minutes, fucking come through. And then they eat dick, and it's like, yeah, you sure you got 10 minutes after their set? So it's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Help. Like, who was it that did that? Someone's ex-girlfriend. I don't want to plug her at all. Yeah, but she hit me up, and she was like, oh, I got 45 minutes, and I can headline and do this and that. And I'm like, dude, I don't believe anybody who's been doing it a month and saying you have 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then somebody dropped, and I was like, well, if you want to do 10 of that 45, come through. Straight dick. And it was just like, oh, yeah, you sure you got 45? You sure about that?
That's fucking funny.
You know what's funny? In the beginning, I think there's a lot of like false confidence that you kind of put yourself through to try to get through some of it. And I just think you don't realize how much, like, dude, I remember when I felt like I had 10 and I fucking didn't have 10. Like I had 10, but it was an awful 10. It wasn't a good 10. And you're so proud of that, those shitty fucking 10 minutes you have that you don't really realize it's hard, like with the whole thing. And sometimes it takes more to bomb out of a set, you know?
Yeah.
So it's funny how sometimes things will work for you in the beginning and then they just dwindle out. And there's a lot of change that happens in those first few months.
It's crazy, man, because there's stuff that I used when I started that still works now.
What is?
And I know there's like my Netflix stuff.
Mm-hmm.
With that joke, that little superhero that I do, like that shit still works. I've rewritten some of it, but it's like I've heard a lot of people like, oh, I don't use anything. I threw everything away like from 2-3 years in. But I'm like, I just rewrote that shit and beefed it up, and it still holds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you need to do that I don't think you need to like rewrite, like throw shit away till they just started doing that because they heard that Louis C.K. does that shit.
Yeah.
And they started doing that shit. But the thing is that Louis was doing it because he knew he was going to put out a special with it. He was working those jokes and he put them out in the special. And now that they're out there for everybody to see, of course you don't want to do those same jokes. As a good artist, you know?
Yeah,
but all these people think
like
they're fucking...
His actual jokes have a place to go. When you're first starting out, your jokes don't have any place to go. But you're right. You should definitely, like, I just found one of my, let's see, I think I have it right here. I actually was cleaning my room and I found this. This is my, like, I think it's my second comedy notebook I ever had. So I'm like, fuck, I'm going to start going
waiting for a response.
What? Oh, well, I don't know.
It seemed like you were waiting for us to say something.
It's so cool. You know, maybe something like that or something.
How much of it is written?
But you know why? You know what I was thinking about? You know, when you said that, I didn't have a reaction because you know what I was thinking about?
What?
I was thinking about the day I met you.
Okay.
And I think it was Ernesto Ledesma, which I think Ernesto Ledesma and I started relatively around the same time, maybe a couple of months apart.
Yeah, you guys were like in the same group.
Like the same year and the same months, around the same months. And we're both writing, and you were like, huh, I remember when I used to write jokes like that. And I was like, ugh, gross.
I was a piece of shit for a while.
You said it's so snobby too.
Yeah.
You said it's so snobby too. And I was like, ugh. So that's why when you bomb at No Clue and I kill it, it brings me joy.
Yeah, but I didn't bomb.
When you bomb, first of all, and then I go up after you and I crush it, it brings me joy, Frank.
Yeah, wait.
Those two
you know why? Because I write my jokes.
They're not mutually exclusive, though.
I want to hear this. What are you going to say, Frank?
I was going to say, well, first of all, me being shitty about you probably wrote whatever was said was probably shitty, first of all. And second of all, me bombing because I didn't know what I wanted to say is very different from me having a bunch of jokes and then going up and bombing with like the intent of knowing I'm going to do good. So I don't think they're too mutually exclusive, like the way that you were like happy that I bombed.
Either way, you're a bitch, right?
But dude, you didn't even call an audible.
Either way, maybe you wrote your jokes.
I you know what it was, and I talked to Pablo about it afterwards. Was that the jokes that I had, I was so over them that like I couldn't even pretend to be in the moment to like say those jokes, and I had been trying to like figure out like what I needed to do like that entire like month. I remember just like trying to figure it out. I couldn't figure it out, and I was like, it'll be fine. It's just gonna be like a regular show, whatever. And it didn't go that way. And then maybe like 3 months ago, I did a show at Hemet, and I was able to do the joke, I did my do because I didn't write. I've written some jokes, but no time to flesh it out, no stage time to do new stuff. So I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go and do the set. And there had been enough time between that like I just missed performing, that I was able to just like go through it. And like even like the week preparing, I was like, going through the jokes, and I was like, oh, I forgot how I say this. And like it was almost like I was rediscovering the jokes because I hadn't done them in so long. So it was kind of crazy.
Dude, you say all that, but we know you just
no clue.
Huh? I wasn't in a good headspace. What can I can't really defend what happened when that's all. There's nothing more to it. I just literally couldn't get there. Huh? What do you mean?
He said he didn't like his
said
joke.
Something about you guys.
You're the only one with bad internet right now.
I know.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
My internet is good as fuck. What are you talking about?
No, it just came back good. I can see the like who's connected well on the screen on my screen.
Oh.
So
I feel
either
that,
way,
man, when you're not into it or anything,
what?
but you don't have like the go-to like 5 at least.
Though that was my go-to
in
fucking 5.
Oh,
but like I just literally like was not.
See, Frank, that's my point. That's my point, Frank. Like I have like Ezekiel saying like a go-to 5 or whatever, and I remember those jokes very well because I wrote them down. And when you write them down, even if you're not saying it word by word, even if that's not exactly how the joke's gonna end up, when you write it down, you remember the flow a lot better, and like the way it works a lot better. I mean, it works for me.
It works for me too.
I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but maybe try it.
When I write
past experiences.
Well, I've never I write down ideas and then I build the joke in my head, and that's how I've always done it. And it's not that I don't remember like how the jokes went. I just literally don't. At the time I just couldn't get in the headspace to like say what I was saying and like genuinely mean it. And I think that was my problem. Like it's not that I didn't really. It's just I couldn't say the words and like mean them it just didn't. It got away from me. And
all right, Frank, we're fucking around, right? It doesn't matter that you bombed at no clue.
Fuck you, bitch. Okay.
I don't pull it out your little gay.
Right, stop crying. Stop crying, Frank.
You know what? You guys keep this up. I'm gonna start playing Call of Duty in the middle of this podcast. Okay. All right.
Dude,
I think
it's
pretty much over, right?
It was nice because I bombed a little bit after that show in LA. And I felt really bad about it, but then it was like, at least it wasn't as bad as Frank's bomb at No Clue.
Yeah. No, and you know what? If that's what you can get from that moment, that's cool. If that's what you can take away from it, then go ahead. I'm happy that like I bombed, so you didn't have to bomb that bad.
Dude, you rolled your sweatshirt sleeves up so much they became sleeveless. Like they were all the way up to your shoulder.
What?
Your sleeves. You kept rolling them up to your shoulder. You were so nervous. It's a joke, Frank, because you're nervous. You were nervous bombing.
It was bad.
It was bad. I haven't seen you sweat that much before.
That's fair. No, I was nervous. I was not ready for that moment in my life, but I needed it. It made me a better comedian moving forward to like have that moment like that.
But then again, you hadn't been on stage for a while, right?
Say that again.
You hadn't been on stage for a while, right?
I hadn't been on stage in like a month and a half.
Yeah, that's a while, dude.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, I wanted, and that's the thing. I was even trying to hit up I think it would have helped me if I would have gotten to hit at least 1 or 2 mics beforehand and gotten the bomb out of the way. But, didn't happen.
I don't know, man.
I like to think as like, I like to think as like pretty much shows that, not that I don't try to do good, but like this show in particular that we're talking about, and not that I don't respect the show, but because I like No Clue and I like the show Ezekiel ran there, but it was like I was just trying something new. Like it's not that like I was like actually booked on the show. My homie was throwing me some time, and I know like either way, like I would just go the same way as I go to a mic. I was just working that one. I said some fucking joke in the beginning and it did good. And then the other one that was a longer joke that was kind of new. It was like the third time I ever did it. Like that's what I was there for, you know. And so like I think that just kind of like gives me like confidence to just not bomb, you know, because like I'm confident enough to like even if some of the punchlines don't fucking hit, like I know I got them on the next one, you know.
Yeah.
No, for sure, dude. That's what that room was for.
I don't. You gotta look for ways to not put to alleviate the pressure from yourself that you gotta do good, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think I think that worked out for me pretty well because like that day, I mean, I do remember like my first joke that my first punchline didn't hit at all, and I felt really bad about it. But I was like, fuck it. And I just kept going with the same pace and the same cadence and everything else went good, you know?
Yeah.
Because I was just there to work out. It was a workout room, man.
That was the beauty of that room, man. Because they were just drunk. Everybody wanted to hear some shit. And you get a good read on whatever you had, whether it was polished or not. Like, it was a fun little spot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well,
it was also a good spot to see if white people would like my shit or not.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There was always white people there. There was always like older white people. There was like always older white people, which for me, it's the hardest demographic. I think.
You know what's funny though? I felt the same way about doing like jokes in Temecula.
Even if I didn't get like big laughs from them, even if I didn't get big laughs from them, if I got like okay laughs, I'd be like, all right, fuck yeah, you know?
Yeah, that's gonna kill.
Same. That's how I felt about doing jokes like in Temecula. Like here at Shamrock, it's a older white audience mainly, and I knew if it played there, it would do well everywhere else. You know, so it is kind of interesting. You have to find those rooms that do that. So,
dude, I always bought.
Yeah,
do you guys
I mean, I think
the
thing is also like you got to go to like diverse rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you know,
do you guys
like,
do
you
good
gotta go to diverse rooms and
Pomona,
shit.
man.
So
Pomona,
you gotta go to the room.
That's where I would run my shit.
Yeah.
The alley and stuff like that in Pomona, the mics in Pomona, DBA in the alley.
Oh yeah. Pomona now. Shout out to Irene. Podcast. Yeah. The alley was dope.
You could run any shit there, and you would know how it would hit.
Yeah, that was like the most diverse and engaged audience of any open mic. Like there was a lot of people not paying attention, like every mic, but there was also a lot of people, you know, there to listen and like really fucking responding to your shit. It was awesome.
Shout out Irene.
That place was awesome.
Yeah, no, she's great.
Shout out to Irene. She's been a guest
home
before.
Away from home.
We fucking love her. For real. Shout out to Pomona Loud.
Yeah, everybody in Pomona. Right. They fucking do it over there.
This fish or what?
Yeah.
What?
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys if you guys listening to us live. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Definitely go check out our social media at Completely Useless Podcast on Instagram. You guys can check out our website, completelyuselesspodcast.com. You can also check out Ezekiel's stuff. Ezekiel, plug your Instagram.
Instagram is at Ezekiel_Echevarria. Facebook's my name, but I'm on Instagram mostly. So hit me up.
Cool, man. Well, thanks for being a guest. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you guys next week.
Need me a blunt and a gargoyle. Black lipstick and a spider web. Look so cute when you're wearing all black. Girl, come see your bitch, that's on my lap.